Welcome back to D&D Podcast. I'm your host, Deuce. Alongside me is my co-host,
Don Blake, man, one of your hosts of the D&D Podcast, baby. We are back.
We're back with another episode. We got the NBA offseason.
Yes, sir. It's
we
July.
haven't talked about sports in a long time, man. I'm glad we get back to sports, basketball.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to come back. But the offseason was a very busy offseason for probably a lot of teams,
Definitely
especially the big ones.
So what move to you gave you the most attention? Like which move would you say was like, shit, I didn't expect that?
Probably the KD trade. I mean, obviously, I knew KD was going to get traded, but I didn't expect Houston at first. Obviously, it made sense because they had the most assets to get him. Obviously, I wanted him to come to Miami, but probably weren't going to get him. But
I think y'all made the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably wasn't the best since he's probably going to play like what 3 years? You think max, KD?
Yeah, I mean, with him, my only question is like, I feel like you have to have the right core of guys and team around him because of the fact that that's just a lot of times with teams you have to mesh. And to me, KD and Pat Riley would not have matched.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
I feel like KD is just like KD, as long as things are like cool, like I don't feel like he just kind of goes out there and plays. I feel like we would respect that. Most part.
Now look, I'm no NBA reporter in terms of
you guys had him, so I mean
yeah. But what I'm saying is I'm no NBA reporter, but it seems to me like sometimes when KD's vibe, like he kind of like likes to run things. I feel like you know what I mean, and so like
you should have Chino up here talking about KD.
I mean Kenny Atkinson got fired. Right, and part of it was because they wanted his man Steve Nash, and now look what Kenny Atkinson's doing in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
Doing a great job in Cleveland.
So I'm just saying, this is all I'm saying is just facts. An organization like Miami, where they got a pretty good winning culture there and strict rules and whatnot. I don't know if KD would have fit very well there. That's just me.
Well,
but. If or whatever, who cares? He went to Houston. That's ultimately what happened.
True.
And I actually do think it's going to be a good fit there, though, for him. I think Houston's going to be a pretty good team.
What seed do you think they would be, just off the bat? Just a blank thought.
I mean, I think OKC is still the team to beat.
Of course.
I do really like Minnesota again and Denver again.
Yeah, Denver should be top 4.
I think Houston should be like 3 or 4, maybe 2 again. The West got a lot better this offseason, so that's why it's like Houston staying at 2. It's gonna be tough seeing that. Although they did get a lot better, they got Clint Capella as well. So they definitely got more rebounding and big man depth.
But you got the Lakers.
I don't really see the Lakers doing very well.
Really?
Nah. I think.
I feel like that's
sad. I don't know if Luka and LeBron. It's not really like
that's sad.
Because it's like because we need if you're a Lakers fan, you're saying to yourself, we need more of an inside like scoring threat. You know what I mean? That's kind of what AD was. But when you have an opportunity to get Luka, you give up what you can to get him.
I feel like there's too much like they're so similar as players. Like not like I feel like Luka probably shoots a little bit more.
Right.
Probably, but
yeah.
Because he's more of a guard, I guess. But obviously LeBron is probably a guard in every team he plays for.
Yeah, well, LeBron, he's a high efficiency scorer. You know what I mean? In terms of his field goal percentage shows that. But so he's gonna definitely drive more. But they did get DeAndre Ayton, and if he plays like he did, earlier on in Phoenix, then sure.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I can't say I've watched a lot of it. That being said, I'll tell you, I want to say another trade though, real quick.
Right.
The Drew Holiday trade intrigued me.
The Portland.
I did not expect that. So I expected Boston to trade some of their players to dump some cap space.
He's getting older, so like you're gonna keep paying him.
But Portland, did we expect that? I mean,
I don't think they care where he went.
I didn't see Portland as a team that was buying. I saw Portland as a team.
Portland don't know what they're doing.
No, they do know what they're doing. They're buying, which is crazy.
I mean, they're buying a lot. Yeah,
they're buying.
They've been setting up for the future for a while, but they got Dame back to he's going to retire there.
They traded Anthony Simons though. That didn't really like. They must not really believe.
They got back for him.
They got Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons, meaning that they're buying. They're not looking for the future. They want to win. And then they signed Dame Lillard to come back, an injured Dame Lillard. So it's like Portland's I feel like Portland will be a good team actually next year, but they're not going to contend for a championship. And it's kind of interesting.
You think they're going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, sure. Drew Holiday's a pretty good player. I mean, Simons being out kind of hurts them. You know what I mean? But
I just feel like who's the go-to scorer for this year?
So I mean, they got Holiday. Who else is on their team?
I know Shaedon Sharp. He's nice, but he's a young prospect. I don't think he's guaranteed to be like a 20-point per game scorer or something.
Yeah,
you know,
I just want to get my information right.
Yeah.
Here. But you know, like for example, last year there was 3 games out of the play-in. So, you know, now they'll
be competitive. They're always competitive. I feel like Portland, you know, has that type of dog.
Oh yeah, I dude, Avdića, I think his name is. That dude's pretty good young player.
Oh yeah,
and they got Jeremy Grant, but it's not. But it's just not like, you know. Not really, I mean, they got Scoot Henderson, who's still pretty young. You know, he's got a high thing. You know, but I don't know necessarily if I'm ready to say. I mean, they're definitely not contenders, but I mean, it was just interesting to me, like why that they were buying. You know, because they still have a young roster to me. You know, but the Clippers are another interesting team. You know, because they've been pretty aggressive too. You know, because they got Brook Lopez,
Chris Paul,
Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
You know, so they've been doing that. You know, I think the Clippers are almost a contender last year. Honestly, I mean who they ended up losing? I think they lost to Denver in 7. I believe
they were a contender. You know, but they weren't going to beat Denver. So it's like
crowded West. You know. Yeah. But real quick, you know, we've been talking a lot about the West. I'm not going to necessarily say Portland's going to make the playoffs. But you know what? Actually, though, let's kind of wrap up the West. You know, I think, you know,
you want to talk about we can talk about the East.
Oh yeah.
You can talk about the best teams after the East and West.
All right, bet. Yeah. I mean, most of the best teams are going to be in the West. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah, of course.
But
like always.
Yeah, I think the East, you know, is definitely interesting because, you know, Indiana had a great playoffs again. You know, back-to-back seasons, a great postseasons for them. So
yeah, Indiana, but Tyrese Halliburton's gonna be out for the year, and so they're probably not gonna. They're gonna be competitive because they have a competitive roster. Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna. They might be.
I just
had
to start with them because they won the East last year. Honestly, you know, but yeah, like you said, don't see them coming back out.
Cleveland should probably run the East. Well, be the top seeded team in the East, probably. It's looking like.
See, the thing is, like, I kind of want to say the Knicks too. You know what I mean? Because the Knicks still have a great roster too, But the Thibodeau firing now, it's a little interesting. Like, I think Mike Brown's a good coach, but, you know, the camaraderie, you know, that a coach has with a team sometimes, you know, it helps a lot. And
it's chemistry, you know, also.
So it's going to be...
get used to the coach.
It's going to be interesting. But also, another team, though, we got to look out for, I think, is also Boston. I think Boston still, even without Tatum, I think... Because Jaylen Brown has shown he can be the guy in the postseason, first of all. They got Simons... And they got Derek White, and then Peyton Pritchard's only been getting better. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Boston, they always gonna have guys ready. You know, I mean,
they can make the playoffs. I feel like,
you know, they dump Cap with Porzingis too. So it's like, you know, I think we can't quite count out Boston yet. You know, especially if Simons could develop there, man. Then they're looking dangerous. I mean, I felt like that trade was a no-brainer for Boston. You know what I mean? Yeah, it hurts to give away a great two-way player like Holiday, you know, but when you can get a 23-year-old that can score as many points as Simons can, take that 10 times.
In the right
10.
system, he can definitely develop. So I feel like that was a good sign there.
Yeah, good trade, definitely. Who else in the East can I look at?
Did you see the Miami? We got Norman Powell.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah, he was almost an all-star in the West.
I don't know necessarily if that's going to push y'all towards. I mean, y'all don't got Jimmy Butler.
I mean,
anymore.
we're not gonna go to championship, of course. Like,
y'all got a good,
as far as contending,
y'all got a good organization and a good future, though.
Yeah.
But like for example, the Nets are not sniffing the playoffs this year. Like, you know, our future is like,
How do you feel about the rookies you guys got?
We'll see. You know, that's honestly, I hate to be cliche, but we'll see. You know,
we'll see.
Don't mean nothing. You know, guys could play great in Russia and Israel and, you know, wherever you're playing.
Everybody's getting drafted overseas. We drafted the overseas player
wherever you play, Alabama, wherever you play, you know. But, you know, ultimately what's going to matter is when you play against the big boys, you know, are you going to be a man, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
and can you be consistent? Can you be relied upon? You know, it's that's what the NBA does. It weans out the fake from the real. So we'll see, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing about the overseas players. A lot of them, they were like, supposedly, they were playing as grown men when they were 19, you know? So, like, when they got in the league, they're supposed to, we expect them to be more, like, tough and more, like, prone to, like, the NBA, like, you know, strength and whatnot, as opposed to, like, you know, NBA players who probably just, you know, play AAU a lot, you know, they're not, like, playing against everybody, like, older than them all the time, you know.
So, well, NBA players are so fast, big, and strong that it's like it's a complete adjustment in terms of the athletes they're playing against, you know. And so
the conditioning is way different.
And that's why even when you know the good players, they have to adjust their first 2 years on because you know those rookie players, he's mad skinny. You know, what I mean,
you gotta get the
just raw talent.
You got the man strength on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like Giannis, his rookie season, you know, looked like that. Now,
LeBron was
dude could
too.
post up anybody, you know? So, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, it all depends, but it also, you know, depends on, you know, the head on their shoulders too, you know, how I play. But, you know, the Nets, though, what bothered me, though, about the draft was that they didn't really draft anybody that could prove they could shoot consistently, especially from the 3-point line. I think Danny Wolf is going to be is the pick I'm most excited about.
Yeah, and you guys traded away Cam Johnson, man. I mean, you guys got Michael Porter Jr. back,
yeah,
so he should be able to shoot for you guys. But
I hope, you know, because he was kind of in a funk in his past few years, you know, in Denver. Yeah. But, you know, we'll see how that works out, you know. In terms of other teams in the East, really, you know, I think Milwaukee could be interesting. I always like Milwaukee just because I think Giannis is a really good player, you know, in terms of, because his game is very efficient, you know what I mean? He doesn't shoot a lot of threes, you know, he's a big inside scorer. So it's like, you know, if you get the right supporting cast.
Probably the best inside scorer in the league.
Definitely, I would think so, you know, although Jokic is pretty damn good too.
True,
but you know,
he can shoot too, apparently.
Oh no, yeah, that's the thing that's crazy about him, you know, but no, I do think Giannis is the best inside scorer though, yeah. You know, so it's going to be interesting, you know, to see that. But I think, you know, to me, the top 3 teams in the East are still, I would go the Knicks first, then Cleveland, and then Boston right now. So I'm going to say, you know, Tatum being hurt definitely hurts for them in terms of their championship aspirations for the season. Yeah. But I still think they're going to be a very competitive team, especially if Simons develops, you know. So
What do you got, Detroit?
Detroit's a pretty good team too, but they're still pretty young though.
Yeah, they got Duncan Robinson, man.
They did get Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, bro. I'm mad about that.
That's like white boy Rick over there in Detroit now, man.
They lost Malik Beasley and they got Duncan Robinson. Hey,
that's real,
the
man.
The boys good.
All right, so who's gonna be the worst team in the NBA?
The worst team in the NBA?
I already know my pick.
Probably the Wizards.
You got it. He said it.
They're always the Wizards, or probably the Hornets, maybe sometimes.
Shout out to all my people in the DMV. You guys constantly tell me how much y'all hate watching the Wizards, and I personally agree with you. You know,
I miss John Wall, and when Bradley Beal was actually really nice for real. I mean, he's
putting up a lot of points, you know, with them, you know. And then things didn't really work out for him in Phoenix, but I think Clippers, we'll see. You know, Clippers have been a good organization as of late in terms of the success they could get out of their team. You know, so
he had a bad experience in Phoenix, but
definitely interesting. Hey, so I want to ask you about this. What do you think of? A lot of people are excited about the Atlanta Hawks too. They feel like they could compete in the East. What do you think, though?
I feel like they can compete. They've been in the play-on a lot with the Heat and the Bulls. So I feel like one of those teams are probably going to break out of that. You know, they're probably going to get like a top 6, top 5 seed. But I can see them probably getting a top 6 seed. I don't know if they're going to like be a contender to come out of the East. Probably not. They're probably going to, you know, lose in the second or third round most likely. But I feel like Trae Young is a talented player. He's gotten a lot more talent. He got Porzingis now, so probably a lot more lobs, you know.
Yeah, although Porzingis ain't really been showing the ability to stay healthy.
I mean, Porzingis never really showed the ability to stay healthy. So,
and on top of that, like, he doesn't seem like he's like, but I mean, literally healthy. I'm talking about like in terms of like his conditioning and things like that, you know. And so it's like, is he really an upgrade over Capella? To me, I don't know.
I feel like
because
he's still gonna be able to block shots and rebound, hopefully.
But he had a certain role in Boston. You know what I mean? In Atlanta, he's probably going to be asked to do a little bit more, and he's, you know. I mean, they got Dyson Daniels, cool, but to me, like, I'm not really caught up. I mean, they got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was a good player in Minnesota, but again,
he's more like a role player, though. I don't feel like he's like a star, right. So exactly. You're really betting on Trae to take you to the promised land, which he'll have some moments against the Knicks, I'm pretty sure. He might even send the Knicks home. We don't know. But, like, I don't feel like he's going to come. Come on. The Hawks aren't going to get out the East.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Yeah. You know, I'm not really they got Jalen Johnson, for example, you know, good player, but yeah, I don't really see it. You know, if I had to make a bet right now, I would say that out of the East, it's going to be the Knicks, and out of the West, it's going to be the Timberwolves. So all the losers of the conference finals last year. Yeah, man. Anthony Edwards, they might be coming back with a vengeance, man. And now they got Randall too, and DiVincenzo and all those guys, man. I mean,
I could.
Gobert could play his role.
I believe in if Ant can take another leap and become like that top 5 player in the league.
They've lost in the Western Conference Finals back-to-back years.
Yeah, but they've gotten there. They're
knocking on the door.
I feel like it's either they're gonna take off or they're gonna regress, and it's not gonna look good. That's what I feel like. So
they still got Naz Reid too.
They do still have Naz Reid.
They still got a good roster.
Jersey legend, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I feel like it should be Cleveland. It should be Cleveland. Out of the West. What if it's Denver? You don't think it might be Denver?
I could see Denver.
Denver and Cleveland. Who you think wins that one?
Denver. Jared Allen ain't stopping Jokic. I mean, I don't see it happening. I love Jared Allen. He's a former Net, but he ain't stopping Jokic.
No, I feel like that will go 7 probably. If it goes 7, I feel like I'll take Denver in 7. I feel like if Donovan Mitchell is playing like how he does in the playoffs, in the finals. Plus, they got, I feel like Evan Mobley has some offensive game. I don't know how talented he really is. I don't really watch Cleveland that much.
I can see it, but
they got some firepower on offense. I feel like it's Jokic and he's always just been the motor of the offense purely, but I feel like it's really just him now.
It runs through him.
Yeah.
That's just because he could shoot and
he can do everything on the court.
Yeah.
Not the best defender, but he
what you think of Dallas, though? A lot of people like Dallas, too.
I feel like it's like a weird timeline. Obviously, they have Cooper Flag now, so he's supposed to be NBA ready now. They say
physically,
but
we'll see.
And he has the height.
But again, I say we'll see. We
don't know. I feel like Kyrie. How long is Kyrie and AD going to be on the court together? We don't know.
How's Klay Thompson going to play?
Klay Thompson, yes, boy Klay.
What about Klay Thompson?
He's been in the news lately, the social medias.
Congratulations to him. Him and Meg Thee Stallion today.
Yeah. Congrats, man. That's love right there.
Yeah, for sure. And
100%.
But no. In terms of Dallas, though, yeah, I think it all depends on health. Everybody's got to stay healthy. Right. But I don't see them beating the juggernauts I mentioned earlier. Like the Denvers, the OKCs, even Minnesota. Houston, for example, too, is another good team. So,
how much longer do you think Kyrie's gonna be playing for?
I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
I don't know what Kyrie's knees feel like. You know what I mean? Or it all depends, man. If he's got a lot of pain, then who knows? But
I think Kyrie.
I think he's got a lot of game left in him, though. Yeah. It seems. He
just keeps tearing his ACL, coming back like nothing ever happened, man.
Poor guy, man. That's why I salute these athletes, bro. These guys are worth every penny and more, especially when they got guys like us, criticizing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And on top of that, they get hurt. They really laid it out all on the line, and so
especially Kyrie.
we need basketball season back soon, man. Because I'm really excited for the season. This offseason was really solid to me. I think it's a lot of good moves, nothing too crazy, It wasn't like KD went back to the Warriors or nothing, So it's like, it's pretty good,
Honestly, bro, I feel like he would have did that, but apparently he denied that last year, so.
Yeah, so not gonna lie, we were supposed to talk about football, but we're running out of time, but that's what next episode's for, man.
Episode, yeah,
we're gonna schedule it up with Jake, man, because Deuce and Don podcast is back, live and in effect, No
more hiatus. We can be consistent, we can be coming in. We're going to do some other content too, get some more guests, and we're going to make sure you guys are satisfied with the content we put out, man.
No doubt. So
we appreciate you guys.
Of course, we appreciate all the real fans and all the corny and flaky ass podcasts. Stay away from us, man. Deuce and Dom family, we out in this bitch.
Yes, sir.
We love y'all.
Peace.
All right. Bet.
All right.
That was good.